Defeating, purpose always fleeting. I pose questions to the ceiling like an answer gonna come. Truth is too revealing, life is easier concealing all emotions till they start on your heart going numb. I shouldn't be in drive more, I just wanna feel.
What's up, YouTube? This is Society, coffee shop and bar.
Yeah.
Do coffee, beers, craft beers, German beers, spirits,
Yeah, everything.
donuts.
Donuts, grilled cheese. Yeah, good coffee, good beers. That's what we try and provide.
Sound good? So, what gives you the idea to set this up?
Well, a while ago, just a lot with my old jobs. I always did a lot of hours, and for salary work and all that, but overdid it on the hours. And I just decided one day that if I'm going to do all these hours and all this work, it's going to be for myself and in the business that I enjoy. And I've always liked being in pubs. I've always chilled out in coffee houses and stuff like that. So I thought, well, let's do it. Let's merge the two together. Yeah, and put it in Chesterfield. I mean, Chesterfield's already, don't get me wrong, it's got a lot of places you can get coffee, and even the big boys in town with Costa and Nero and things like that. I just wanted to, do great coffee, something that I enjoyed as well, give that to the town, and good beers.
Yeah. Well, you didn't do this before.
No, I didn't do anything like this. Never worked in a pub. Never worked in a coffee house or anything like that. Coffee shop.
So how hard was it to start doing this? Or not?
I got a lot of laughs from my mates when I said what I was doing. Yeah, it was a quick learning curve, obviously, with especially the coffee side, but also learning the skills, barista skills, to actually make a coffee look presentable and stand a bit more out than your normal places. Yeah. So that were a quick crash course, and YouTube, and a lot of coffee wasted.
You didn't get a training place on YouTube, right?
Oh yeah, I looked at a few places on there. It was just a lot of hours practicing. So I needed to make sure, like, that would be number one. The coffee needs to be great, because that's the daytime. That's where everyone's going to come. Of course, provide a good environment for people to sit in, and a cozy environment. Also, you want people coming back for your product, and so that's what the key thing was. Select a great coffee, and and it's been working ever since. People are coming back, and it's flattering when they say I've got the best coffee in Chesterfield, and that's it's a great compliment to take every time.
That's good. And you said you didn't do food to start, but you do a bit of food now.
Yeah, it were always a step by step. But of course, the first food that I ever did was the toasted tea cake, which still flies out today, to be fair. Well, we always had the donuts and cakes to go along with the coffees.
Are you trying to get local providers for those sort of things?
Yeah, trying to use local providers as much as we can. The donuts, they're a bit special. I lived in Nottingham for about 9-10 years, so there's a company there that we use for the donuts.
What's the best part of owning Society? Or setting Society up?
There's a few things. I like to think, like, Chesterfield is a big town, a big place, and this tiny little part of it, it's sort of mine. When I'm walking up to it, or I'm locking up and walking away, I still can't believe, I'm doing this and it's my place. Yeah. So that's one aspect of it, because in the first few months, like any business, first year really, it's always a struggle. So to have that base of the people that actually helped me out, and even setting up. There were people, my mates, like running to the shops last minute, or little places to get little things for me, and things like that. And I'll be forever grateful for them. Also, like having your own business and your own hours. I know I'm set to them. I set my hours of when I'm opening and closing. But it's a good feel after when you're thinking you're doing this for yourself, and that's a major lift for it as well. That the effort you put in, if the effort's not there, then you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah,
it's all hard work.
It's that thing. Is like, this channel's about freelancers and contractors and people who set their own businesses up. And what the main thing I hear from a lot of people is, I did it because I could control my hours, I control when I wanted to work, and all that kind of stuff. And obviously with something as big as this, even though it's a small coffee shop, it's still a big business. You're serving the public, and there's a lot to it. But even still, you can still be a bit flexible, and they don't work on Mondays, do you? So
no, that's my one day off. But even on my day off, sometimes people think like working for yourself can be, it's glamorous, this and that and the other. But on my day off, I get an extra half an hour to an hour in bed. I'm off to wholesalers, I'm off to breweries, or things like that, or paperwork, which I'm not going to go into.
I would say the next question is, what's the worst part of it?
That's got to be up there. Once you lose track of that, which I have done many times, it's hard to get back on top of it.
Trying to keep on top of it. That's it. If you can keep going and keep on top of it all the way through, then it's not too bad. But it's not fun, is it?
No, definitely not. And then the last thing you want to do when you get home, or when you're switching off, is think, I've got to file all these.
Especially like Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's around, obviously January when all returns are coming back, tax returns. So if I could eliminate one thing, it'd be that.
So that's the worst part. What's the hardest part of running your own business?
Hardest part, probably in this game, probably the hours and everything like that, because you're always on the go. And on a Friday when I'm getting into open at 9, do all the day trade, and then you got people finishing work for a few drinks, and you got a few people coming in pre-drinks and things like that, and I work all the way through till 11 o'clock at night, so it's a long old day. And then, but because I shut at 11 doesn't mean I leave at 11.
Right, of course.
I've got the clean down and things like that, because the more I do that night, obviously the less I have to do in the morning. And then Sundays are not too bad of a day. It's like a relaxed day. They get hectic now and again, but normally they're nice, plain sailing, a lot of people coming in, it's busy, but it's a nice, steady, like sort of busy and stuff like that. So once I get past that Saturday, I'm on sort of wind down for Monday.
Yeah.
And again, the more things I can do on Sunday, the more I don't try not to come in here on a Monday. I try. Still doing it, just to clean up and stuff like that, because I know I should do it on a Sunday. But the hardest part is sometimes switching off as well, and just not thinking about the place. Wake up in my sleep, and I'm bloody thinking of coffee and stuff like that. And,
it's true though. I mean,
did I order this? Did I order that? Or have I left? Get deliveries, and I'm thinking, what time did they say they were coming in? Or that delivery's only on a Monday. I need to sort that out and things like that. That's definitely.
It is then, because you get emails and stuff all the time. Right? They come at all hours a day.
You get people like selling you this, that, and the other, and coming in, and sometimes I'm just like that tired. I don't mean to be grumpy too much, but sometimes I'm like, I can't serve and answer a phone at the same time. It's not like I can hand it over to someone else to take over and answer it. It's still very much like a one-man band.
It's like major coffee shops. They've got like 3-4 people just doing different parts of making the coffee.
They don't move for that day. That's their station. Unfortunately, my station's absolutely everywhere. Yeah, and even even taking time to clean down the toilets and stuff like that. Stuff that's not the glamorous part. But it's an important part.
So, how long have you been running this place now?
It's been open 2 years, nearly 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the future of society? What have you got any goals? Have you got any next steps that you want to do for the place?
Have you heard of a place called Starbucks? Take them over.
Chains.
No. But the future's still establishing this place. Yeah, there's still a lot of people. Like I say, Chesterfield's a very big town, big population, and there's still a lot of people that come into the town, don't know I'm here, or they go straight on the train to Sheffield because Sheffield, it's
Coffee Central.
Yeah, exactly. It's everywhere. So there's still people coming in just a few weeks ago and saying, oh, brilliant place. How long's it been here? And when I say 2 years, they can't believe it. And everything. I'm not massive on advertisement or anything like that. I've got social media. I couldn't supply like a lot of people coming in. It's only a small place, and if I get too overwhelmed, basically, with too many people, sometimes that's where mistakes start coming in. So everything I've done is walking pace. Everything I've introduced is been walking pace.
Yeah.
So it's been like that, and the coffees and with the beers especially, just started off with a little collection because that's one thing I thought Chesterfield were missing was the craft beer side of it. I wanted to get the beers, which again, I've got to like them to sell them. It's easy to sell something that you like. So. The breweries I was sort of trying to hit straight away was, again, some local ones, some non-local, but like Cloudwater, Manchester, and get a few from Nottingham from where I live, so there were Black Iris, totally brewed, Neil Raptor. They were the main ones because when I started this up, I could pick them up straight from the brewery and just pitch up, see what they got in keg and cans, and then just pick them up and go, and then put them on the next day.
If someone came to you and they were like, I'm going to set up a coffee shop, or I'm going to set up a little bar, have you got let's say three tips that you could give them to say, or things not to do, or things to do? What advice would you give them to start?
Doing a 4-3 would be work.
Right.
It's graft.
Yeah.
Number one is it's got to be graft. You've got to be willing to put them hours in, because without that you can't sell anything through a closed door. So, so you've got to be open. There's been, again, going back to the first year, early on, having the door open on a Friday and Saturday night and having hardly anyone in.
Yeah.
Sometimes nights no one, because no one had seen me, anything like that. And you'd see them be like walking past, and it's hard to invite people into, not that I were outside saying, come in, but when you walk past somewhere, it's hard to walk past and go into a place that's probably empty. Yeah. Luckily enough, with my place, it's only a small place. Right. So it is more inviting than a big space that's empty. Yeah. It's only a small space, and then once I get one or two in, people are walking past and they're intrigued by what's inside, especially when they see someone sat in the window having a beer and stuff like that, or a coffee late at night, because I do enjoy still giving, supplying people with coffee at 10 o'clock for the designated driver and stuff like that. And definitely number one is graft. You've got to be willing to put them hours in. Number two is belief. You've got to believe in what you're doing. Yeah. And if you believe in it, then the graft follows as well.
And I guess believing in yourself as well.
Definitely, believe in yourself that you can actually do it. And that's the hardest thing, because you sometimes you can't. I said a while ago, I'm on the corner of it being great, but you just don't know how long that corner is. You can sometimes see it, and then it just fades away a touch, and everything like that. But I just think for your own business, you're forever on that corner. I've accepted that. You're forever on that corner. I'd say number three, you've got to keep smiling.
Right. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, you got to keep smiling. Good times or bad, you've got to you've got to bring your way through it. Yeah, you've got to be positive with it and paint that smile on, because no one wants to be in an unhappy place.
So, for everyone watching, what's your Instagram account?
Instagram is Society Coffee Chesterfield.
Yeah.
On Facebook as well, type in Society Chesterfield or Society Coffee Shop. It should start coming up there. And
Cool. Excellent. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.